All right, good morning, everyone. And it's time for our morning session Intensity of Wakefulness, which is appropriate since it's early in the morning. So let's take a moment to allow ourselves to get settled, get connected, and allow a few of our friends to join us. So take a few deep breaths and just be nice and present. To be present essentially means to be in touch with sensory experience, inner feelings of aliveness, and consciousness, to know that knowing is going on. All right, so today's theme is wakefulness. Let's fix my chair a bit. So today's theme is wakefulness, which is an invitation for us to realize just how much we are dreaming, actually. And so, in a variety of ways, we will wake up to the dreamlike nature of existence, the dreamlike nature of each moment, the dreamlike nature of life. And we will get lucid. To get lucid means to be awake within the dream, to be alert within the dream. And that's what we're going to be practicing for the next half an hour or so. So start with the question, what if all of this is a dream? What if all of this is a dream? And it's not a question we're trying to answer, it's just a question that brings up curiosity. What if all of this is a dream? I saw a video some time back which we had the entrepreneur Elon Musk talking about how every year video games have gotten more and more realistic. More and more realistic, more and more realistic. It's hard to tell them apart from a movie. And he says, what in a few more years, a few more decades perhaps, how can we be sure that it'll not get so realistic that we actually can't tell it apart from reality? And then he says, how do we know that this did not already happen a long time ago, and that actually right now we are living in a simulation? And many people will laugh this off as what kind of a funny idea is that? However, some of the brightest minds in science are taking this idea very, very seriously, because they're finding a lot of things in nature, such as error correcting codes, which are what's found in internet browsers. And this is found throughout nature. So the idea that what if all of this is a dream, a simulation, an illusion, is not as far-fetched as we might imagine. So again, come back to the question, what if all of this, everything seen, everything heard, everything felt, is a dream? Just notice what the question does to you. What if all of this is a dream? So in other words, even when you think of your past, that's also part of the dream. Everything that happened yesterday or 20 years ago is very much part of this dream. Plans for today, plans for tomorrow, 10 years from now, it's also part of the dream. When you and I agree on any aspect of this dream, we become friends. Or at least we can tolerate each other. When you and I disagree on aspects of this dream, we don't like each other. We might even become enemies. Many years ago, I read this book by Richard Bach, and I forget the name of the book. And in that book, he gave the most simple possible definition of hypnosis. Hypnosis is suggestion accepted. Hypnosis is suggestion accepted. So what this triggered in me is, throughout the day, thoughts give us all kind of suggestions. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a difficult day. I have to meet that person. Or I can do this. I can't do this. It's too difficult. Life is difficult. Throughout the day, the thinking mind is at work, giving us all kind of suggestions. I like what Byron Katie says. She says there are two levels of thinking: first generation and second generation. First generation is where we name things. So I say it's morning. Sun hasn't yet risen. Second generation says, I hate waking up before the sun rises. I hate it when it's dark. Likes and dislikes, in other words. So first generation already is the dream. And second generation, we get really invested in the dream. So throughout the day, there are thoughts. And when we believe those thoughts, then we are hypnotized. Suggestion accepted. And then, of course, we have thoughts about thoughts. I shouldn't be so guilty. I shouldn't be so negative. You shouldn't be so negative. Right? Keep coming back to this question. What if all of this is a dream? As I'm speaking, stay in that perception. What if it's all a dream? Really, it's a dream. What if this is really a dream? Wake up. What if it's like really a dream? Wake up to the fact that it's a dream. Right? Stay in that perception. A friend of mine told me that in college, her friend would often come back to the room and criticize some of the other girls. She's like this, she's like that. And my friend is like, let's not talk about others. Let's not talk about others. Let's not criticize others. They also have good qualities. Trying her best to shift the conversation. And this went on for many months. And one day, her friend said to her, says, I'm really tired of you judging me for judging others. Like 2 levels deep, right? So we are having thoughts about thoughts. So throughout the day, there are thoughts, and when we believe those thoughts, we are hypnotized. 2 kinds of hypnosis. A hypnosis that makes everything seem very scary. Paranoia. Afraid. Second kind of hypnosis that makes everything look really beautiful, amazing, heavenly. Pronoia, which is a beautiful word, which is like the opposite of paranoia, inverse paranoia. In other words, you are thoroughly convinced that the entire universe is conspiring on your behalf. So instead of starting with discontentment, you start with contentment. Instead of dissatisfaction, we come to gratitude. So if you have to have a thought, if you have to watch a movie, if you have to play a video game, watch a good movie, play a good video game. So if you have to have a thought, why not have a high quality thought? If you have to have food, why not have tasty, delicious, hygienic food? So if you have to be hypnotized, why not be hypnotized in the direction of pronoia instead of paranoia? So throughout the day, there are thoughts. And when we believe those thoughts, we are hypnotized. It can be a nightmare, or it can be a really pleasant dream. Either way, it's a dream. But if you have to have a dream, why not have a pleasant dream? Well, either way. To come into the present, to recognize, by the way, to come into the present doesn't mean there are no thoughts. There will sometimes be thoughts. Thinking is going on anyway. When we sit to meditate, or stand to meditate, or walk to meditate, we notice how many thoughts there are. And some people get disheartened and say, I can't meditate. But the reality is, you're noticing thought, you're becoming aware of how much the mind wanders. That is progress. To notice the wandering mind is progress. To notice that the mind is wandering is progress. Intensity of wakefulness. What if it's all a dream? And dreams include all kinds of thoughts and perceptions and memories. The present moment is also part of this dream. It's got the dream of I. Dream of I. I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm smelling, tasting, touching, I'm feeling. I am. I am. And what if this is actually the root of the dream? This is the crux of the dream. It's the most subtle hypnosis of all. The idea of I am, as opposed to you are, they are, it is. What if it's all a dream? Thinking thoughts and being lost and distracted, that's of course a dream. And even now, what you're experiencing right now, what if this is also part of the dream? What if? So what is it like to be awake within the dream? Lucid dreaming. Tibetan and shamanic cultures tell us that When we sleep, of course, we dream. But even when we're awake, it's a kind of a dream. We don't even realize it's such a thin layer. There's a cultural dream. The idea of how we're supposed to behave, how women should behave, how men should behave, how children should behave, how various people in various professions should behave. What do you say and do when you meet someone? There's a cultural dream. There's the dream of the day, what happens throughout the day. There's the intermediate state of as you're about to fall asleep. Then, of course, there's the dream state. And then there's the deep, dreamless sleep, which is also part of the dream. These are all different parts of the dream. It's all different part of the illusion. So the one who's awake is the one who knows all of them to be a dream. And I love this teaching by Maharaj, Nisargadatta Maharaj. He says, you cannot wake up from the dream. That will be just another dream. You cannot wake up from this dream. You can wake up to this dream. Cannot wake up from this dream. You can just wake up to this dream. So now let's really consolidate our practice. What if all of this is a dream? What if I am not even the dreamer? In other words, even the sense of I am that's also part of the dream. And these are two of them the most beautiful questions I know. Just really amazing questions. What if it's all a dream? What if this is a dream? And what if I am not even the dreamer? When we say all of this, it's not only outer experience, it's all the inner experiences of thoughts and memories and feelings. It's all of that. And when we say not even the dreamer, then we say, what if I'm not even the dreamer? It means even that most intimate part of being conscious, what if that's also a part of the dream? Consciousness being the operating system of this intricate simulation. Alan Watts has a beautiful teaching where he says that, let's just say that you had a capacity to dream every night 75 years of life experience. You had the capacity to do that 75 years every night. So what would you dream every night? So he says perhaps you'll start by just fulfilling all your dreams. You'll start by having amazing food and going to beautiful places and meeting beautiful people and basically every single unfulfilled desire you ever had. Right? Probably go ahead and night after night for 75 years, go ahead and enjoy every possible pleasure, every possible thing you've ever been denied. But after a few nights of this, it's going to get like, okay, we've done that. 75 years a night. So then you might come to a more adventurous realm and let's try to rescue a princess. Let's fight a dragon. Like we progress from the little children's stories to the more adventurous stories, the more action stories, thrillers. Don't know what's gonna happen. So it's like you're standing on the edge of a high skyscraper and you're about to jump. Scary. But then after doing that for several nights or several weeks, all the adventure, you dream up a new wrinkle, a new possibility, this time to forget that it's a dream. All this time you knew it was a dream, but now you choose to forget that it's a dream. So now that's something. So now you're in the dream, but you don't know it's a dream anymore. 75 years of time every night. 100 years of time every night. And this time you've forgotten it's a dream. Because it'll be such fun when you wake up. So he says out of all of the dreams, all of the billions upon trillions of possible dreams in this extensive simulation, you could choose the dream that you're having right now. So right now, watching this, listening to this, is one of the possible dreams of the billions of dreams. And you could choose this dream. The dream that you're dreaming right now. And that would be one among the infinite possibilities. To dream the dream that you're having now. So let the dream do its dream thing. What if it's all a dream and I'm not even the dreamer? Then why am I so invested? Let the dream do its dream thing. My teacher Arjun Brahma talks about driverless bus. You're going in this bus, and this is quite a naughty bus because every time the unpleasant parts of town comes, the bus slows down. And every time you're going through really pleasant, beautiful parts, the bus speeds up. And this is happening again and again. Every time the smelly, dirty parts come, the bus slows down. And every time the really nice, pleasant, beautiful parts come, the bus speeds up. And one day you think, enough, I'm going to give this bus driver a piece of my mind. And you get up to go and tell this bus driver, what's up, what's wrong with him? And you go there and you get the shock of your life. It's a driverless bus. There's no driver there. You come back and you sit quietly on your seat. Stop complaining so much. So he gives this analogy as life, The pleasant parts seem to go by too quickly. The unpleasant parts seem to linger and just never go, so stubborn. Just never go. And you can complain and you can fight, and then one day you realize it's a driverless bus. The bus is doing its bus thing. The dream is doing its dream thing. Intensity of wakefulness. What if it's all a dream? What if it's all a simulation? What if it's all a highly convincing hypnotic illusion? What if all of this is a dream? What convinces you that it's not a dream? What if it's all a dream? Because it's very dreamlike, isn't it? What happened yesterday is already dreamlike. What's happening right now, a few minutes later or a few seconds later, will be dreamlike. It's gone. It came and it went. At that time, it seemed so real. Have you in your life ever felt jealous? Didn't it seem so real at that time? And now, in this moment, it's like a dream. Have you ever felt strong attraction to someone? So strong. Just want that one person. Nothing else is important. And then later on, okay, it's all right. Not the end of the world. So you see, There are such strong dreamlike elements right here. What if it's all a dream? What if I am not even the dreamer? Who am I? Who am I? No answer from the dream is valid. So we can summarize this as, one of the interesting ways to summarize this is to be how do you say this? Yeah, no happiness, happy for the wrong reason, happy for a good reason, and happy for no reason. So not happy is you're 100% invested in the dream, and the dream is not going the way you want it to go. Various aspects of the dream, your health, your finances, the way people treat you, disrespect you, don't listen to you, family situations, you name it, basically. Total victim of this dream. No happiness. Maybe stuck in a court case for the last 15 years. Maybe born shorter than you expected, darker than you expected, not as good looking as you expected. Oh, you name it, victimhood. No happiness. Second is happy for wrong reason is one way to say it, or unskillful reason is another way to say it. Is that we're trying so hard to achieve this, that, or the other, that we are convinced once we achieve that, everything will be fine. Once we achieve that, everything will be beautiful. Once I have so much money, once I'm so famous, once my education is complete. And we've convinced ourselves, knowing fully well that in life, so many times we achieve those desires, they still don't really satisfy us. So it's not, I mean, you could do it in the beginning. You go from don't want to really want. But that really want doesn't really satisfy us for long. You achieve your want, and it's back to the new want. The third one is happy for a good reason. Like pronoia, right? Gratefulness. Yes, it's a dream, but something about the physics, the mechanics of this dream rewards gratefulness, being thankful, being joyful, being contented. Instead of waiting for something to happen and then I'll be contented, just go ahead and be contented. Instead of wait for something to happen, then I'll be joyful, just go ahead and be joyful. Don't have a nice day, don't have a joyful day, make it a joyful day. Decide to make it a joyful day, no matter what happens. I'm going to enjoy it. I welcome it. Bring it on. Seeing others as another you. Happy for a good reason. Doing things without very heavy expectations, anticipations, attachments. Just doing them. Happy for a good reason. Do your best, leave the rest. Happy for a good reason. And then happy for no reason. Sat Chitananda. What if it's all a dream? What if I'm not even the dreamer? What if it's a driverless bus? Oh, now it doesn't really matter, does it? So I recommend being happy for a good reason, pronoia, and being happy for no reason. Intensity of wakefulness. Not waking up from the dream, waking up to the dream. The intricacies of this dream. And my teacher said something very beautiful. He said that if you wake up early, so nice, good for you, congratulations. If you take a long time, even better. We said, even better? Why is that better? So he said, if you take a long time, you'll help many others wake up. You've been asleep for so long, you've learned all the ways in which you're asleep. So it's all right. even if you were not able to be awake, even if you didn't connect with what I was sharing. That's totally fine. Because the longer you take to wake up, the more sweet will be the awakening. And the more your capacity to awaken the so called others, who are also just part of you, they are another you. All right, so we've come to the end of our dream time and the beginning of a new dream time. The dream of night is over, the dream of dawn is here. So have a really beautiful day. Keep coming back to these two beautiful questions. What if this is a dream? What if I am not even the dreamer? Just see what happens and doesn't happen as you play with this. Lots of love. Be happy. Be happy.